has these little tiny jaws. It is known for breaking pinkies and thumbs, although I have had 2 friends break their middle fingers on this very trap. Now, I will demonstrate what this trap can actually do. So you can see it is a completely legitimate trap.
Wow.
Which I am about to stick my hand into. Now, the reason it is considered to be one of the more dangerous traps is, like I said, the little jaws. The basic principle behind any trap set is you have to get enough surface area into the trap before it closes to defuse the shock of the trap closing. It is basically physics. More surface area equals less pressure equals not breaking your hand. This trap is actually just smaller than my hand, which makes it a little tricky to get enough surface area into it. It's definitely not a beginner trap. It is also so small that if I angle either way at all, it will eliminate enough surface area, and the fingers that do get in will get broken. So it is all a matter of knowing the quote-unquote right way to do it, if there is such a thing. Although it is not recommended as a real trap. So you can see it cuts off the circulation as soon as it closes. My fingers are turning red right in front of you. I can't even get out of this trap with one hand. I can budge it, but I cannot open it. It takes most of my weight to open it. But that is hand in an animal trap. Now, this next one I'm going to do for you is what they call the human blockhead. Before I get started, I will have you, sir, pick a nail.
Pick one?
Yes. Which one? No?
Oh, yeah.
Just make sure that it is in fact a real 16-penny nail. It does not bend, collapse, or fold up. If anybody else wants to check it out, just pass it to them.
Seems legit.
Now what I'm going to do with this 16-penny nail is drive it into the center of my head. Now, luckily for me, the center of your head is right where they put your nose. So I will not have to make any new holes today. At least I'll try not to. Now this is about the halfway point. This is a good time to notice it's not going up my nose. It's going straight back into my head. And all the way in. This is a sideshow stuff that was developed by a man named Melvin Burkhardt over 60 years ago. It has become a staple of the sideshow ever since. If you have a traveling sideshow, you undoubtedly have a human blockhead. Now this stuff was actually named by Robert Ripley. He saw Melvin do it. He said, "Melvin, you're a human blockhead." The name stuck. So that's yet another phrase coined by Mr. Robert Ripley. I will just take this guy on out of there. In this light, I hope there's a bit of blood on there, but it's not. Now I can actually take it a step further. This is my 4.5-inch ice pick. I do have to be a little more careful with this. It is longer, bigger in diameter, and sharp. Don't you guys sharp it is? Anybody else?
Here.
But I assure you, this is going into my head, not into the handle. Kind of brings a whole new meaning to pitching your nose. Now I can actually take it a step further still. This is my 20-penny nail. It is bigger in diameter, a little bit longer. Now this one, when I finish with it, will be resting on the back of my throat. It'll be less than 1/4 of an inch from my brain. It will literally be in the center of my head. Which means this is the nail you absolutely positively do not want to go too far with. Because you will puncture the back of your throat and stab yourself in the brain stem. While I've never done this, I'm sure it is completely unpleasant. So I am just going to tap it the rest of the way. And there you have just over 5 inches of nail in my head. Now what goes in must come out, so we'll go ahead and pry that guy right on out of there. And there you have the human blockhead. Now the best thing about this stunt is the snack after.
Oh.
Just put it back where it came from. Now this next one I'm going to do for you is what they call coat check. It is a relative of sword swallowing. It's actually how we learn our trade. This is what you swallow before you swallow swords. It is a regular coat hanger, bit to 17 inches long, roughly in the shape of a sword. Now this is safer than swallowing swords. It is, however, more difficult for a couple of reasons. The first being it is open. There are things in that path that can't get caught on. The other reason is there is no weight to a coat hanger. When you're swallowing swords, there's a certain amount of gravity assistance. Not so with coat check. It has to very manually be pushed through my throat, through my esophagus, and into my stomach. So that is coat check. Most people, when they learn to swallow swords, give up coat check. I never did. I find that people doubt sword swallowing. I see it collapse into the handle somehow. This doesn't leave anywhere else for it to go but in me. As a result of not giving it up, I have learned a couple of variations, one of which I'll do for you right now. Now this is quite possibly more dangerous than swallowing swords. I only know one other performer in the world who does it. What I will do is reinsert this hanger and attempt to bend it into a crescent shape using my esophagus and the inside of my throat. The reason it could be more dangerous than swallowing swords is if I bend it too far, there is no way to straighten it back out again. It will get stuck, I will start to choke. Should this happen, do not pull the hanger out. Just dial 911 on your cell phone. We do not want to rupture my esophagus. If we rupture my esophagus, I have 4 minutes to get medical attention before it becomes fatal. So leave the hanger in. We will let the EMTs deal with it. Give them something fun to talk about at dinner tonight.
How you guys doing?
So if you're ever wondering how far you can safely bend a coat hanger with the inside of your body, that's about it. You go further than that, we do have to alert emergency personnel. It gets messy and expensive. Something you have to watch out for is not twisting it too much, because that will also cause it to catch. This hanger's actually getting old. I've literally turned it inside out. That's why that happens. Almost time to retire old Rusty here. I'm about a quart low. Now this last one I'm going to do for you is the ancient art of sword swallowing. Now, sword swallowing is considered to be one of the most dangerous things a person can possibly do. This is second only to things like base jumping. Before I get started, I will let somebody examine the sword, make sure it does not collapse into the handle at all. Just don't bang it on anything. We don't want nicks in it. Hard on the throat. Now what I'm going to do with this 15-inch stainless steel blade is swallow it, then I will take a bow, bending at the hip, doubling my body over. This makes it twice as dangerous as normal sword swallowing. The reason it makes it twice as dangerous is if I do not have exactly the right posture, or if I lean to the right or left, it will change the trajectory of the blade, either up or down or right or left. This is something you do not want when you're swallowing swords. You're risking rupturing your esophagus or puncturing your stomach. Both of these injuries become fatal in minutes. So, twice as dangerous. So there is just a little bit of sword swallowing for you. And after I swallow a sword, as a good time to mention, I do work on tips. If you're feeling generous, there is a hat. Thank you very much.
I know.